Welcome to the show. I'm thrilled you're joining us today as we tackle a crucial yet often overlooked topic, getting more podcast reviews. As the saying goes, if you don't ask, you won't receive. So in this episode, we'll explore smart strategies to proactively ask your listeners for reviews. By the end, you'll walk away with actionable tactics you can implement right away to drive more Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and other platform reviews. All right, let's get into it. First up, why do reviews even matter in the first place? Well, more ratings and reviews boost your podcast's visibility and SEO rankings. Platforms like Apple take into account your quantity of reviews and average rating, so more reviews signal to algorithms that your show resonates with listeners. This also builds crucial social proof. When new listeners see a torrent of 4- and 5-star reviews, it encourages them to hit subscribe and be part of the community. Even just a handful of reviews legitimizes your show as worth a listen. But the more reviews you accumulate, the more that compounding credibility effect snowballs. That's why consistently soliciting listeners for reviews is so important. When prominently displayed, they signal trust and quality while driving increased discovery. Simply put, more reviews leads to more listeners over time. All right, so now that we've covered why reviews matter, let's talk about a key strategy: knowing your audience. Your listeners all have unique personalities and preferences. So if you want them to take action on your review ask, it helps to tailor your messaging based on who they are. For example, cheerful listeners appreciate positive, feel-good messaging and a little humor, while more analytical types prefer concise facts and clear reasoning. Imaginative listeners love creative storytelling that gets them thinking differently, and supportive listeners respond well to community-focused language. The key is understanding these core personality traits that make up your audience. Then crafting your review, ask to resonate based on their tendencies. This is where tools like Potter's Audience Personality Assessment come in handy. It provides detailed analysis of your top listener archetypes, uncovering exactly how they prefer to receive information. You'll get data-backed insights into how many academics, adventurers, and more tune into each episode, plus tips on framing your messaging for each group. For instance, the assessment may reveal 35% of your audience are adventurers who appreciate novelty. So get creative with your review. Ask. Tell an intriguing metaphorical story that ties back to their impact. The assessment also suggests formats like listicles or interviews that align with key groups. Use these as a guide for which episode styles will better resonate. Essentially, know who your listeners are at their core. Then craft your review request to align with what matters most to them. It shows you truly understand your community of listeners. All right, so you know why reviews matter and how to tailor your ask. Now let's talk about where to solicit those reviews. First, regularly ask on your social media channels. Share posts specifically reminding followers to leave a rating and their feedback. You can even get creative with the types of posts. Create polls, ask funny would-you-rather questions related to your show, or share listener testimonials. Next, include a clear call to action in your email lists and newsletters. Add links and notes directing subscribers to leave an Apple Podcast or other platform review. If your Smartlink or LinkedIn bio tool has the capability, add a CTA button for listeners to rate your show. Removing friction increases conversions. Now this next one has proven results. Ask for reviews in the first 60 seconds of your episode. Our data at Potter shows a significant correlation between time spent asking for reviews and total ratings. So take a minute at the start to share why your ratings help, ask listeners directly, and make it personable. Quickly addressing it up front works. Essentially, give your review, ask Prime Real Estate across channels: social, email, Smartlinks, and your podcast episodes themselves. Consistent, prominent placement drives results. You know where to ask for reviews, but exactly what should you say in that ask? Here are some tips. First, explain the tangible impact reviews have on your podcast. Let listeners know boosting your ratings helps increase your visibility and expose the show to more potential subscribers. Keep your tone personal and casual. You're simply asking your community for a favor to help grow the show. No pressure. Throw in some humor or creativity to stand out. The goal is crafting a memorable, compelling ask tuned to your show's brand. Listeners are more receptive when you creatively engage them. Now that we've covered the basics, let's get creative with your review. Ask to make it fun and memorable. For example, pose a challenging trivia question and ask listeners to submit their answer as a written review. Make them work for it. Or if you have shorter episode, you could try this fun approach to get more podcast reviews. Challenge your listeners to binge listen to 3 episodes in a row. Then ask them to go to Apple Podcasts and give your show a fantastic 5-star review. It turns leaving a review into a game and makes it more exciting for your audience. Another idea is offering a funny prize for the most rhyming or eccentric review. Get your community involved in a review contest. Essentially, put your creative stamp on it with playful asks tied to your content. Listeners enjoy feeling part of a learning adventure or challenge. And don't forget, reviews submitted in response to your episodic asks will be attributed as feedback as well, killing 2 birds with 1 stone, so move beyond boring requests. Craft engaging asks aligned with your show personality. Creative calls to action convert. Let's look at a great example, the Practical Stoicism podcast. Their host masterfully crafts concise review asks. Right at the start of each episode, he shares a friendly ask tuned to the show's vibe. His tone is super casual and personable. He explains reviews boost visibility so new listeners can discover the show, providing context on the impact. And he even gets creative, tying the request into Stoic philosophy concepts aligned with the episode topic itself. The ask hits all the right notes, short, clear, consistent, and creatively on brand. So it's no surprise Practical Stoicism enjoys tons of ratings and engagement. Studying successful examples like this helps crystallize exactly what a tuned-in review request sounds like. You'll stand out while still remaining true to your show's voice. And that's a wrap. Let's recap what we covered today. We discussed why reviews are critical for boosting your visibility and credibility. Don't leave this crucial growth lever on the table. We also explored how tailoring your ask based on listener personality resonates more. Appeal to what matters most to your community. Ask consistently on social media, email, Smartlinks, and especially your podcast episodes. Remember, don't ask, don't get. And get creative with your review requests. Pose challenges, offer prizes, and tap into your show's personality. If you found this useful, please pay it forward by leaving us a review and sharing the episode. And be sure to check the show notes for a link Potter where you can access the audience personality assessment tool. Thanks so much for listening. Now get out there and start racking up those reviews.